Hi everyone. Today's story is called Bob and Larry in the Case of the Missing Patients by Karen Poth. Welcome to the City Detective Agency. This is Bob and Larry. They are great detectives. Bob carries his badge. Larry carries his stuffed badger. The badger helps Larry be brave. One day, Bob and Larry were teaching a SWAT class. Chief Nezer came in. He brought 3 new detectives. This is the pod squad, Nezer said. Teach them to be great detectives. Bob and Larry were glad to help. Ring! Bob picked up the phone. Mrs. Carrot had seen the masked door slammer. Bob and Larry had been looking for the door slammer for weeks. They had to hurry. Come on, Bob said to the pod squad, but they did not all fit in Bob's car. They took the pod squad's van. Oh no! About halfway there, the van stopped working. The detectives were stuck. Bob and Larry pushed the van. The peas sang songs. By the time they got to the scene of the crime, the door slammer was gone. Sorry, fellas, said Mrs. Carrot. She closed the door. Rats, said Larry. Looks like we missed him again. This is your fault, Bob said to the pod squad. Yeah, said Larry, and now we have to walk home. Bob and Larry hurt the pod squad's feelings. On their way back through the park, the detectives came upon another crime. It was a bicycle, Madame Blueberry said. It knocked over my hot dog cart and kept going. A trail of mustard led detectives Bob and Larry to another crime. The bicycle had ruined Pa Grape's wet cement too. This bicycle bandit had to be stopped. Bob turned to the pod squad, but the peas had fallen down a hill. They were covered in yellow police tape. Can't you do anything right? Bob asked. The detectives followed the bandit's trail. It ended in Scooter's backyard. They found the bicycle bandit. It was Lil P. Why did you do it? Bob asked. Hold on, the pod squad said. I don't think this little fella is a criminal. Just then, Laura Carrot ran into the yard. It's all my fault, Laura shouted. I was teaching Lil P how to ride his bike. He did everything wrong. I said mean things and I pushed him. I'm sorry, Lil P. I wasn't very nice. Then Bob realized something. He and Larry had done the same thing to the pod squad. He and Larry were supposed to teach the pod squad. Instead, they got angry with them. We're sorry, Bob said to the pod squad. Yeah, God wants us to use nice words and encourage one another, Larry said. Bob and Larry spent the rest of the day teaching the pod squad to be great detectives. A person's wisdom yields patience. It is to one's glory to overlook an offense. Proverbs 19:11. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye. Hi, everyone. Today's story is called Sheerluck Holmes and the Hounds of Baker Street by Doug Peterson. Dogs howled somewhere on this foggy night in London. Did you hear that? Asked Dr. Bob Watson. They say wild dogs roam Baker Street on nights like this, said Sheerluck Holmes, the world's greatest detective. Perhaps this isn't a night to be out. Suddenly, a policeman burst through the fog. Sheerluck gasped and accidentally breathed in on his bubble pipe. Come quickly, shouted Scooter, the Scottish carrot constable. Someone has disappeared at Doyle's pizza place. Sheerluck whispered to Watson. I can't understand his accent. Did you say someone was speared by a doughboy with a pizza face? Asked Sheerluck. Ah, Scooter motioned for the detectives to follow him. They wound up at Doyley's pizza place. Sniffy disappeared right in the middle of a darts game, said a waitress. Can you help us? Certainly, my good woman. Where was Sniffy last seen? Asked Sheerluck. By the dartboard. Aha! Sheerluck shouted. I know what happened to Sniffy. What is it? Asked Watson. His feelings were hurt and he ran away. Wow, said the waitress. Did you figure all that out by looking at the clues like footprints and smudges on the wall? No, I read this giant note, said Sheerluck. The note read, You hurt my feelings. I'm leaving. Signed, Sniffy. The question is, who hurt Sniffy's feelings? Continued Sheerluck. By the end of this night, I will know who that guilty person is. The game was afoot. Sheerluck moved through the room. He hunted for clues and loose change with his magnifying glass. He looked at each person one by one. Perhaps it was you, Morty Poppins, he said. You and Sniffy worked together as chimney sweeps. Maybe you hurt his feelings. Or maybe it was you, Sheerluck said, whirling around. He stared at a plump guy named Nomi. You always get mad at Sniffy for using big words. Maybe you hurt his feeling, Nomi. For the next 15 minutes, Sheerluck put on quite a show. Then came the moment of truth. I think I know who hurt Sniffy's feelings, declared the great detective. The culprit is none other than... Click! The lights went out. Tumble, crash, shout, push. After a few terrifying moments, the lights clicked back on. To Sheerluck's surprise, a crowd had tumbled into a big pileup at the door. I'm to blame for turning out the lights, said Watson. You did? But why? Asked Sheerluck. Elementary, my dear Sheerluck. I knew the culprit would try to run under a cloak of darkness, explained Watson. Sheerluck stared at all the people piled up in the doorway. But that means all of you hurt Sniffy's feelings. What kind of friends are you? We're not very faithful friends, admitted Nomi. He looked very ashamed. It's true. We all hurt Sniffy's feelings today. Nomi explained. Sniffy was competing in the All-London Darts Championship between Doilies and Tower of London Fish and Chips. Doilies could have won the game with one good toss of the dart, but right when Sniffy was about to throw, he sneezed. The dart missed by a mile. We lost the championship. We turned against Sniffy. Like a pack of wild dogs, confessed Morty Poppins. But faithful friends stick by each other even in bad times, said Sheerluck. God says we treat others the way we would like to be treated. How can we make it up to him? Asked Nomi. You can start by finding him, said Watson. Look! Watson pointed to the floor. A trail of chimneys led from the dartboard out the back door. Gadzooks! Shouted Sheerluck. Judging by his trail, Sniffy ran out onto Baker Street. Baker Street, where the wild dogs roam. We've got to save him, shouted Nomi. Who's with me? Everyone flew out the door and into the fog. In the distance, they could hear dogs howling. Were they too late? Was Sniffy doomed? And then, he's over here, shouted Morty. It was almost too terrible to look. The dogs were all over Sniffy. But wait! You're alive, Nomi shouted, overjoyed. These canine companions aren't nearly as carnivorous as we presumed, said Sniffy. There you go with the big words again, said Nomi, but that's okay. The important thing is that you're safe. We're sorry we hurt your feelings, said Morty. Can you ever forgive us? Of course, said Sniffy. You guys risked your lives to come look for me. You are faithful friends. For the rest of the night, everyone feasted on cake at Doilies, even the dogs. It was truly a special evening. They had learned that faithful friends stick with each other in good times and in bad. Proverbs 17:17 says, a friend loves at all times. He is there to help when trouble comes. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye. Hi, everyone. Today's story is called Sheerluck Holmes and the Case of the Missing Friend by Karen Poth. It was a foggy night in London. Sheerluck Holmes and Bobby Watson went for a walk. Stop! Shouted a policeman. Sheerluck jumped. He swallowed some bubbles from his pipe. Sniffy is gone, the policeman said. Come quick. Sheerluck and Bobby went to the pizza place. Sniffy was right here, the waitress said. Then he was gone. Someone kidnapped Sniffy. I know what happened here, Sheerluck said. Sniffy ran away. How do you know? Watson asked. I read the sign, Sheerluck said. You hurt my feelings. I'm leaving. Sniffy. Someone hurt Sniffy's feelings. But who? It was a mystery. Sheerluck started asking questions. Did you hurt Sniffy's feelings? He asked Morty. Then Sheerluck asked Nomi. Did you hurt Sniffy's feelings? Then Sheerluck asked Percy. Did you hurt Sniffy's feelings? And then he asked Jerry and the policeman. Each one said, I didn't do it. Suddenly, the lights went out. It was very dark. Slam, bang, crunch. Veggie shouted and pushed. Click. The lights came back on. Veggies were piled by the door. I turned off the lights, said Watson. I knew the one who hurt Sniffy's feelings would try to leave. Did you all hurt Sniffy's feelings? Sheerluck asked. I think we did, Nomi said. Sniffy was on our dart team. It was Sniffy's turn to throw, said Percy. He sneezed. His dart hit the floor. We lost the game. We all got mad, the veggie said. Sniffy wrote that note, then he ran away. We have to find him, Nomi said. He's out there all alone. The group followed Sniffy's footprints. Everyone ran outside. It was foggy. It was dark. They heard dogs howling. Oh no, Nomi said. The dogs have him. The dogs ran to Sniffy. They were all over him. They were licking him. We're sorry, Nomi said. We didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Sniffy forgave his friends. Then they went to the pizza place for a big piece of cake. Everyone was happy. Mystery solved, Sheerluck said, and a lesson learned, the policeman said. That's right, agreed Sheerluck. We should always be kind to others. Watson and Sheerluck left the pizza place. The fog was gone. It was a beautiful night in London. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.